She does look nice. All right, so welcome back. We got a little bit of break in the rain here. So I'm going to show you, if you have an older Challenger, how to wire the headlights of a newer 2015 model, plus be able to fit on the 2015 front end as well as the hood and whatnot onto your older Challenger. So I got a lot of requests to do this video, and here's what you're going to need. What you're going to need is you're going to need to go into your Dodge dealer. So go into the parts department, and inside the parts department, what you want to do is you want to have the VIN number to any 2015 plus model Challenger. It could be a Hellcat, it could be SXT, it could be a RT. Whichever one has the same setup as your headlights, meaning that if you have an HID headlight setup, make sure you get another Challenger with a VIN that has HID headlights. Or if you have a halogen setup, same thing. You're going to go inside of the parts department and you're going to want to look up these parts here. For the headlights, this is for your 2015 plus model Challenger. You want the full repair kit for the headlight. And what this does is this gives you, and as you can see as I've highlighted out here, this gives you a breakdown of which each and every wire does for the new headlight. And it has the color breakdown and whatnot, so on and so forth. I checked off which ones I needed, which ones I didn't, so on and so forth. And when I wired it together, I did a little extra check mark to show that I was completed with that wire. Okay, so you're going to need the repair kit for your for the headlights that you want to wire to. So you're going to need that. Then you need the actual headlight assembly. Okay, so then what you're going to need is your older Challenger's headlight assembly or wiring kit, or I guess you could say repair kit. What it is it's just basically a simpler breakdown of which wires do what. So yours may or may not look like this, but you have a black plug which goes on the front right, and you have a green plug which goes on the front left. Okay, so is it I believe so. I believe that's how it goes. It's either front left or front right. Or oh, I'm sorry, you have a black and a green plug that go on the front of your old harness. These actually go together. There's one plugs into the amber lights, which are your turn signals, and one plugs into your headlight, which is your high beams and other things. So what this is this is a breakdown of which each plug on each headlight does. I wish I had a picture to show you, but if I do, I'll go ahead and insert it at this part right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood to show you what I've done so far, and if you have any questions on it, I'll do my best to answer it for you. See, 3.5 V6. So you're gonna have to move these pieces out the way. Let's go ahead. And what you'll notice is I have some orange wiring here, as well as on this side. That's what I've wired to these new headlight housings. So the repair kit will come with only this part. It'll come with this part, and it'll come with some wires like this, and they won't be color coded, which is why you need the repair kit to know which wire does what. You're going to be looking at each wire in each slot, and each one has a different function. Like for instance, this one right here could be turn signal, this one could be hazards, this one could be headlight or high beam or whatever. You're going to see what each individual wire does, and you're going to mark that, and what you're going to do is attach them to one another. So as you can see, I have this headlight harness here. And if you watch my previous video, you'll also know that you have a the same thing as the tail lights. You'll have a wiring or a wire that is basically a fault wire. That fault wire on the headlight, you do not want to completely different. You do not want that fault wire attached to any other wiring on your headlight. It'll cause a short. Like right now, the setup that I have, it might be just the fuse, but my high beams won't go on. So when I push my little thing forward on the side of my column, my light, I'm not exactly sure exactly what the name of it is, but anyway, the way you turn on your headlights normally, you have a button to make it go to high beams, or you push the little stick or shifter forward to make it go to high beams. Well, when I do high beams, mine cut off. So to show you that the setup works, I'll go ahead and turn the lights on. Okay, so I'll turn on the headlights first. It's during the daytime, so there's my side marker, there's my headlights. Now what you can't see in this video is that there is a ring of light. You might be able to see it, it's flickering. There is a ring of light around each side, so you do have that that halo type look when you are when your headlights are on. Now, a lot of guys like the DRL lights where you can see the halos only. Well, on this, you have to turn it to where the ambers, the old ambers are, because there is no DRL setup for your older Challenger. So what you'll have to do is turn on the ambers normally, and now you just get that ring. You get that ring there on your headlights. The only problem with this setup is that your side markers and your tail lights are still on, which kind of defeats the purpose of daytime running lights, which is just headlights or the halos or whatever, the amber turn signals. So if I were to put on the turn signals or the hazard lights to show you, you can see everything works as it should. Even with the headlights on, there's no short. So my setup, I know, is styled. It is styled. Turn that all off. It is styled as if it were an older Challenger. There's not enough wiring, nor is the computer smart enough to do a DRL setup as if you have a 2015 plus model Challenger. All that stuff you would have to do custom wise. So if you want a DRL setup where you're going to have to add in a new switch on your dash that is just, you know, when you flick it on, it goes to DRL and it's connected to an accessory wire, so that way it only gets power when the key is pushed, you know, that is in the ignition, or the power, or you have some type of power going to accessories, then your DRL will come on. But to me, that's a little bit unnecessary. You don't need all that. You want your car to look a certain way, correct? You don't want to buy the new one. Then I think that you've done well in achieving the look. Let's go ahead and make sure that's in there. Another piece of advice I have for you is that when you're doing the wiring on the headlights, if you have any questions about it, please feel free to ask in the comments. Check out my last video that I have about the tail lights. Also, I'll probably be doing a video on the hood, how much I got the hood for, where you can get hoods like this, and how if they're an aftermarket hood, some of the things, as you can see, I have Bondo here, some of the things you're going to have to do in order to make sure that your hood fits OEM, because this one doesn't. As you can see, the lines are off. Even when the hood is completely depressed, the lines are slightly off. And That's the problem with these aftermarket hoods, is that 9 times out of 10 you're going to need hood pins to keep the hood secured down and also level. So as you can see right here, if I were to push it down just slightly, you got better lines, at least a better looking line. As far as this front end I got off eBay for about 700 bucks. Very affordable. I'll probably make another video on this later because it was not extremely tough to put together, but it was extremely fragile, as in the clips that are behind it. I don't know if you can see, but there's this is a separate piece from this piece, obviously, and you clip them together, but the clips are very flimsy and fragile. So there was times where I had to use a screw in certain areas. I don't know if it I don't know if you can see it. You can't. Okay. So there's a screw where it would clip in. It's like I had maybe 3 or 4 clips that broke on this front end, and I had to use a screw, and I just screwed it in there to hold both pieces together. And so far so good. I've had this front end on for, I'd say, a little bit over a couple months now, maybe 2 months or so. The reason why I haven't fit it completely here is because I'm still not finished with the inside of this. So I'm still not completely satisfied with everything that I need to do with this front end before I get it painted, which is why I haven't done any of the finishing touches on it. And it's also been, you know, we've also had a little bit of inclement weather. You know, we had the fires here. It's been raining for the past couple days, so I really haven't been able to come out here and do much. But unfortunately, I'm not able to show a whole bunch of the wiring. I'll do more of a breakdown in future videos. If you want to know exactly what wire to what, I'll go ahead and, you know, chop off the old ones and show you how to do it. I'll hook it right back up again and show you exactly what I've done and what steps I had to take in order to get to where it's at right now. I do recommend that if you have if you don't have the antenna, to either get yourself one of those little shark fin ones, or order the OEM shark fin ones from your Dodge dealer. They run for about 50-60 bucks. They're not that expensive. Also, they add a very unique look to the Challenger. At least that's what I believe. Anything else? Let's see, nothing else. Okay, so thank you for watching.